Wednesday. I didn't expect you until the morning.
Nobody home in the neighborhood?
I told her to wear a nice ghost get-up.
He probably scared people to death with that horrible costume.
I didn't scare anyone. Pugsley's still out trying.
What's wrong? Didn't you have a good time?
I had lots of fun.
Oh, darling. Oh, what's this? Tears on our very own holiday? Why, all those nice witches and goblins flying around.
That's just it. They told us there weren't any witches.
What?
What fiend uttered that vile canard?
Mr. Thompson across the street.
What a terrible thing to tell a child.
He should be horsewhipped.
If I were a horse, I'd whip him.
Well, I guess I better go up to bed. If you can't believe in witches, what can you believe in?
Oh, Gomez.
Poor little Wednesday. One careless remark and the child's ideals are crushed.
Gomez, I think you ought to call that Mr. Thompson and tell him just what his lies have done.
Excellent idea.
I still think he ought to be horsewhipped. I'll get a horse.
Uncle Fester, you do not make friends by whipping people.
You're right, my dear. We must be civilized about these things. I'll reason with him. Thompson, you lying scoundrel! What are these vile canards that you've been telling my children?
What is he saying, dear?
He doesn't know what a vile canard means.
How uncouth.
Look, Thompson, what I mean is, what's the big idea of telling my children there are no witches? Really? You don't say. Well, that's an interesting point of view. Goodbye.
Well, darling, did he apologize?
Not exactly. He called me a nut. Morticia, there are witches, aren't there?
Oh, of course there are, darling. Remember our great-great-great-aunt Singe? She was burned at Salem. Come here, dear. These are her ashes.
That's Aunt Singe, all right. She still looks pretty good, too.
Well, that settles it. We can't take this lying down. We have to prove to that little girl that witches do exist.
If we could only get one witch to sit down and explain things to her.
God mia, that's a big order. Where can we find a witch like that?
In the classified.
Right. Just look under W. No witches?
Maybe their telephone numbers are unlisted. Oh, look here, darling, look.
Querida, that's Witch Hazel.
Oh, so it is. Well, perhaps we'd better advertise.
Ah, good thinking. Witch wanted, no questions asked.
Won't work.
Why not?
One ad's closed 2 hours ago.
Gomez, I have a truly inspirational idea.
A second honeymoon.
No, darling. If we want a witch, why don't we call on our own Aunt Singe?
Won't that be a bit inconvenient?
In the spirit, darling, we'll hold a séance.
Oh, I love seances. Last time I talked to my dear departed brother Clump.
Did he answer?
No, that's how I knew it was my brother Clump. He was a quiet one.
Then it's all settled. We'll hold a séance tonight and throw ourselves on Aunt Singe's mercy.
Do you think she'll answer?
Well, of course. What right-thinking witch would turn down a child on Halloween?
I always forget I frighten you.
On Halloween.
Sorry. Forgive me, thing. Lurch, this is an emergency. What are you doing tonight?
The movies.
Alone?
With Thing.
Forget it. Tonight, you've got to stay here and help me. Well, you've got to. Imagine that Morticia and Gomez thinking they can get a witch to pop up on an hour's notice, especially on Halloween, the busiest night in the year. Do you realize how disappointed those children will be? I'm glad you feel that way, Lurch. So, tonight, you are a witch.